We all have an innate longing to understand who we truly are, beneath the masks and labels of identity. This personal quest often leads you to examine the nature of your ego, that voice inside your mind commenting, judging, and influencing your behaviors. But what if your ego is not actually your identity? What if it is merely a fictional role imposed on the stage of your mind? Let's explore this fascinating idea, that your ego is a mental construct, not your true essence. At its most basic level, your ego can be described as your sense of I-ness, the feeling of being a separate individual. It's that internal voice, obsessed with how you are viewed and judged by others. Your ego judges, analyzes, and ruminates constantly. It drives many of your desires and fears. But what if this egoic voice is not actually who you are? What if it is just a mental program created by years of conditioning and social training? This raises an intriguing possibility. Your ego is not your identity, but simply a thought structure implanted in your mind. In various spiritual traditions, the ego is portrayed as a false identity that covers your true essence, a fictional character that causes suffering by making you feel separate from others. When you get too caught up in your ego's desires and judgments, you become disconnected from the present moment and your inner wisdom. But you have the power to question your ego's grip on your identity. You can cultivate awareness to catch your ego in action. When you create psychological space between yourself and your ego's commentary, its power over you diminishes. You realize that your ego's endless analyses and judgments need not dictate your self-worth or behavior. So how can you loosen your ego's hold on your sense of identity? Well, there are many techniques you can start applying right away. I suggest trying meditation and breath work to quiet your chattering ego. When you anchor in the present moment, you weaken your ego's control over you. Self-inquiry is also helpful to investigate your thoughts and disidentify from your ego's narratives. Ask yourself, is this thought really who I am? You can also let go of attachment to labels, roles, and judgments. Begin noticing when your ego wants to label you or others. Don't give those labels power over your identity. Spending time in nature facilitates this process beautifully. Nature has a way of dissolving your ego's hold and reconnecting you with your essence. Here's another tip. Start acting from a place of compassion rather than egoic desire. Whenever you feel the pull of selfish motivation, pause and consider how you can act from compassion instead. Finally, make more decisions guided by intuition rather than only egoic logic. Your intuition transcends your ego's limitations. It taps into your inner wisdom. By consistently applying these techniques, you create psychological distance between your true essence and your illusory ego. With time and practice, you can live more from a place of freedom, presence, and wisdom, rather than the confinement of your mental constructs. Although your ego feels tangibly real, it may just be a fictional story imprinted on your mind by years of social conditioning. But you have the power to let go of this mental construct and reconnect with a vast identity beyond your ego. Your essence remains untouched by its judgments. This personal journey of gaining freedom from your ego's grip is absolutely worth embarking on. It opens the door to living from your innermost light and wisdom.